Hello guys, this is Naruto Ultimate Reality. Please like and subscribe and save the video. We will keep on updating every series, so please like and subscribe and share this video to your friend who like Naruto. What if?
Disclaimer. I do not own Naruto and any other character in this story. Chapter 5, Conflicted Clan Heir Rewrite. Kaguya Otsutsuki found herself immersed in the monotony of her prison, unable to engage in any activities. The boredom weighed heavily on her as she observed the reincarnations of her sons, who were still infants and had yet to fulfill their destinies. While she didn't mind simply watching over them, the lack of excitement left her restless. Time passed, and Kaguya's attention focused on her older son's reincarnation. To her surprise, there were not one, but two individuals bearing his resemblance. However, unlike the division of the chakra tree into yin and yang, these two were not separated in such a manner. They mirrored her older son more closely than anyone else, yet there was an intriguing difference she couldn't quite comprehend. As 17 days flew by since her awakening, an unexpected event occurred. Kaguya could now sense her younger son's chakra. Strangely enough, it emanated from the same village where her older son's chakra originated, Konoha, as the humans called it. This revelation puzzled her. The fact that both of her son's chakra resided in the same place couldn't be a mere coincidence. Someone must have orchestrated this convergence, but Kaguya was unaware of the true motive behind it. She focused her attention on the group of people who possessed her younger son's chakra rather than her older son's. She had always been perplexed by the existence of individuals bearing her younger son's chakra. After all, she had witnessed her older son kill his younger brother before her very eyes. So why were there now individuals carrying his chakra? The fact that she could sense her older son's chakra within the two boys but couldn't detect her younger son's presence didn't trouble her. She had believed him to be long dead. However, now sensing her younger son's potent chakra, she yearned to discover who wielded such power. On the 27th of December, 17 days after the Kyuubi attack, Hitomi Hyuga experienced pure bliss. Holding her newborn daughter in her arms, she named her Hinata, signifying a sunny place. Hitomi hoped that her daughter's arrival would breathe life into their currently desolate clan. The Hyuga clan, once vibrant, now seemed devoid of human emotions. They regarded any display of feelings as weakness. Hitomi desired to bring about change within the clan, and she believed her newborn daughter, the future clan leader, had the potential to achieve that. Hiashi Hyuga, the current clan head and Hinata's father, entered the room. Upon seeing that his wife had given birth to a girl, his expression soured. Disappointment clouded his face. How could a girl lead the clan? He showed no trace of happiness, mimicking the emotionless demeanor of the rest of the clan. Don't judge her based on her gender alone. Girls can grow to be just as strong as boys. Hinata will become the strongest Hyuga. I believe in her, Hitomi retorted, unlike the emotionless members of the clan. Having not been born and raised within the clan, she stood out, retaining her capacity for emotions. She had met a different Hiashi, a kind man who always smiled, before he assumed the role of clan head. Hiashi's brother, Higashi, excelled in everything. He was the perfect candidate to become the next clan head. However, due to a mere few minutes of birth timing, Higashi was relegated to the branch family, while Hiashi ascended as clan head. Their brotherly love evaporated, as Higashi blamed Hiashi for being born first, which led to his demotion. Now, Hiashi and his son bore the burden of the branch family seal, sealed by their fates. After that event, Hiashi underwent a drastic transformation. His smiles vanished, replaced by the stern demeanor of a clan head dedicated to upholding tradition and the clan's best interests. I will begin training her as soon as she can walk. I need to see if she possesses the potential to become the next clan head, Hiashi declared. Hitomi's disappointment grew. She had hoped that becoming a father would soften Hiashi's heart and bring back his smiles, but he remained resolute, focused solely on training his daughter to become an emotionless leader like himself. Hitomi refused to let that happen. She was determined to ensure her daughter's upbringing was different. You can't do that, and deep down, you know it. At least wait until she turns 5, Hitomi implored. Hyashi took a moment to consider her words, his expression softening slightly. All right, he finally acquiesced. I will wait until she turns 5, and then I will personally train her. Although Hitomi didn't want her daughter to be forced into anything, she recognized that now was not the time to press the matter further. For the next 5 years, she would dedicate herself to Hinata, showering her with love and affection. Hitomi knew that nurturing her daughter's spirit was crucial. She would teach Hinata about the beauty of emotions, the strength in compassion, and the power of understanding. She would encourage Hinata to embrace her own uniqueness, her own strengths, and challenge the restrictive traditions of the clan. Author note: I do not own Naruto. Chapter 6, Growing Bond, Naruto and Hinata rewrite. Kaguya observed her children with both curiosity and concern. 5 years had passed since she awakened, and during that time, she diligently kept an eye on the children who possessed her son's chakra. While nothing particularly interesting had occurred, she remained vigilant. The eldest child, Sasuke, belonging to the Uchiha clan, exhibited remarkable similarities to her older son. The clan's distinctive eyes reminded her of the eyes her son possessed before the tragic events with his brother. Kaguya couldn't help but hold a biased opinion of the Uchiha clan, perceiving them as power-hungry individuals. However, there was one exception within their ranks: Uchiha Itachi, Sasuke's older brother. Despite Itachi's young age, he had already achieved the prestigious rank of Anbu, surpassing many others. Kaguya couldn't help but admire Itachi's selflessness and lack of ego. He harbored no arrogance, despite his remarkable accomplishments. Itachi's primary motivation was to protect his younger brother and their family, showing immense love for both. Unfortunately, Sasuke's relationship with his father was strained due to the latter's power-hungry nature, which Sasuke resented. Naruto, the other half of her older son's chakra, had a relatively happier life. His parents, especially his father, showered him with love. Though Naruto's mother had been an active jonin, she decided to temporarily put her career on hold to care for their children. Naruto, as the eldest son, eagerly anticipated his training, hoping to become strong and protect his family. However, he was disheartened when he learned that only his sisters would commence their training, as the Uzumaki clan considered chakra chains exclusive to girls. Despite his initial disappointment, Naruto accepted the decision, looking forward to training alongside his parents in the future. Among the 3 children, Hinata's life was the most difficult. Her father, Hyashi, shared traits with the power-hungry Uchiha clan head. Hyashi's actions had caused Hinata to suffer, particularly after an incident involving a failed kidnapping attempt when she was just 3 years old. The ensuing events led to strained relations between the village and the Reikage of Kumogakure. Neji, Hinata's cousin, blamed her for their father's sacrifice, further complicating her life. Moreover, Hinata's mother, who had been the only one to show her love, tragically passed away while giving birth to her younger sister, Hanabi. Hyashi, disappointed that another daughter had been born, pushed Hinata away and forbade her from interacting with Hanabi, hoping to mold her younger daughter into a stronger individual. This treatment left Hinata feeling weak and unable to win battles against younger opponents. Despite these hardships, Naruto and Hinata found solace in each other's company. They had become friends after meeting at Naruto's 5th birthday party, where most children were drawn to his sisters due to their upcoming training. Hinata, being kind-hearted, noticed Naruto's loneliness and decided to check on him. Their friendship blossomed as they spent time together, with Hinata providing Naruto the care and attention he craved. Under a moonlit sky, they often sat together in the park, sharing moments of tranquility. Naruto admired the beauty of the moon, and Hinata agreed, her lavender eyes reflecting a genuine fondness for nature. On one such occasion, Naruto realized he hadn't asked for her name before and introduced himself as Naruto Namikaze. Hinata softly replied, revealing her own name, Hinata Hyuga, which Naruto found to be as beautiful as she was. Their friendship continued to grow, with Hinata gradually overcoming her shyness when she was with Naruto. He provided her with a safe space where she could express herself without fear of judgment. Naruto's unwavering support and belief in her gradually boosted Hinata's self-confidence, allowing her to break free from her timid shell. As their bond deepened, Naruto discovered more about Hinata's likes and dislikes. Their friendship became a source of strength for both of them. Naruto, who had often felt overlooked and alone, now had a true friend who saw him for who he was. Hinata, on the other hand, found the courage to confront her insecurities and gradually developed a voice of her own. Naruto's encouragement and belief in her abilities played a significant role in this transformation. Their time together became an escape from the pressures and expectations placed on them by their respective clans. Naruto would listen intently as Hinata shared her hopes, dreams, and even her deepest fears. In return, Naruto shared stories of his adventures and dreams of becoming a powerful ninja who would protect everyone he cared about. Their friendship inspired. As their bond deepened, Naruto discovered more about Hinata's likes and dislikes. He learned that she had a fondness for zenzai and cinnamon rolls, while crabs and shrimp were not to her taste. Though she still struggled to speak up in front of others, Hinata found solace in Naruto's company, where she felt comfortable being herself. Their time together became an escape from the pressures and expectations. Their friendship inspired them to strive for greatness, each supporting the other's aspirations. Naruto motivated Hinata to believe in herself and her abilities, reminding her that she had the strength within her to overcome any obstacle. Hinata, in turn, admired Naruto's determination and unwavering spirit, vowing to always be there for him and offer her support. Chapter 7, Fragment of Hope. Rewrite. As usual, Kaguya sat quietly, her eyes observing her surroundings. She could feel a subtle surge in her chakra, gradually returning to its former strength. Though considered cage level by today's shinobi standards, Kaguya knew deep down that her current chakra reserves were nothing more than a mere drop in the vast ocean. She needed millions of times more chakra if she ever wanted to break free from her confinements. Meanwhile, her children, now 7 years old, played nearby. The first 5 years of their lives had been filled with love and care, shielded from the harsh realities of the world. However, the past 2 years had brought about a drastic change. It seemed as though misfortune had taken a liking to Kaguya and her children. Naruto, despite having a relatively easier time compared to his siblings, still faced his own struggles. Initially, his parents had promised to train him, but the anticipated later never seemed to arrive. Naruto had patiently waited for 2 long years, his heart yearning for the guidance he had been promised. However, his parents were reluctant, fearing that his sisters would fall behind if they shifted their attention to him. They assured Naruto that they would teach him later, but any attempts he made to train himself were met with harsh scoldings and a forbiddance to train alone again. Naruto, as his sister's training progressed, he found himself spending less and less time with his family. With his father holding the esteemed position of Hokage, he always left the house before Naruto even woke up. His mother and sisters were equally committed to their own early morning training, leaving his breakfast on the table before their departure. But instead of feeling cast aside, Naruto saw their actions as a reflection of the deep dedication to their respective paths. Although Naruto yearned for their love and attention, he understood that their absence in the mornings was not a measure of their affection for him. He knew they were driven by a strong desire to become the best versions of themselves, just as he aspired to do. Rather than harboring resentment, he decided to channel his energy into training tirelessly, determined to join them one day in their pursuits. However, one person remained a steadfast pillar of support in Naruto's life, his dear friend Hinata Hyuga. She had always been there for him, caring deeply and showing unwavering loyalty. From the moment they met, their friendship had blossomed, becoming an unbreakable bond that provided solace and strength during Naruto's moments of doubt. Ever since his 5th birthday party, when the other children believed that Akari and Naruto would only associate with Naruto, Naruto had noticed a subtle shift in how people perceived him. While some villagers may have misunderstood his family dynamics, he chose not to dwell on their misconceptions. Instead, he focused on his own growth and development, knowing that his worth was not defined by others' opinions. Sasuke, on the other hand, seemed to have led a relatively privileged life. He received an abundance of love from his mother and brother, despite his father's lack of acknowledgement. Sasuke's journey was marked by relentless determination, his every effort aimed at gaining his father's recognition. Itachi, his older brother, respected Sasuke's unwavering dedication and harbored hope that one day, the Uchiha patriarch would come to realize the true worth of his son's accomplishments. Recently, Sasuke had taken his first steps into Konoha Academy, hoping to learn and grow as a shinobi. Little did he know that his return home that night would forever change his life. As he approached his house under the moonlit sky, an eerie silence enveloped the air, and a sense of unease gripped his heart. With trepidation, he entered the familiar surroundings, only to be confronted by a horrifying sight that he wished was nothing more than a dreadful nightmare. The lifeless bodies of his beloved clan members lay before him, a stark reminder of the brutal reality he now faced. Shocked and overwhelmed, Sasuke found himself frozen in disbelief, unable to comprehend the extent of the tragedy that had befallen his family. A surge of emotions surged through his mind, and a singular thought consumed his being: he had to find answers. With newfound determination, he mustered the strength to break free from the paralyzing grip of shock. His feet carried him swiftly through the darkness, propelled by an urgent need to seek the truth within the depths of his home. But as Sasuke entered his parents' chamber, his worst fears were confirmed. The lifeless forms of his mother and father lay before him, their presence a haunting reminder of the immense loss he had suffered. Overwhelmed by grief, his thoughts became a jumbled mess, unable to process the enormity of the situation. In that moment of despair, his brother emerged from the shadows, silently stepping forward. Sasuke's heart skipped a beat as he looked upon Itachi, his sibling whom he had admired and adored his entire life. A mix of relief and confusion washed over him, grateful to see his brother alive but bewildered by the blood-stained katana in Itachi's hand. The words that escaped Itachi's lips shattered Sasuke's fragile hope, as he revealed the unthinkable truth. Itachi confessed to orchestrating the massacre of their clan, driven by a quest for power. Sasuke's world crumbled, torn between the memories of their loving family and the undeniable evidence before him. It was a truth he didn't want to accept, a reality too painful to bear. But Itachi wasn't finished. Engaging Sasuke in a paralyzing genjutsu, he forced his younger brother to relive the heart-wrenching deaths of their parents repeatedly. Each iteration tore at Sasuke's soul, breaking him down further with every passing moment. Exhausted and emotionally shattered, he succumbed to unconsciousness, his mind seeking solace in the oblivion of sleep. Days blurred together as Sasuke lay in a state of profound vulnerability. His body slowly awakened, but his spirit remained fractured. The weight of betrayal, loss, and confusion pressed upon him, threatening to suffocate his resolve. Yet, through the pain, one thing became clear: he had to find his own path, a path that would lead him to the strength needed to confront his brother and avenge his fallen loved ones. Hinata Hyuga's life had been marred by unimaginable hardship since the untimely death of her mother. The void left by her absence was palpable, and it seemed as if the world around Hinata crumbled into a living nightmare. The pain she endured was not limited to emotional torment, as her father's actions only exacerbated her suffering. Deprived of the comfort of her younger sister's company, Hinata was thrust into a relentless training regimen by her father, Hiashi. At a tender age of 6 or 7, she was forced to spar with Genin and even Chunin-level ninja. The lack of consequences for those who accidentally harmed her resulted in countless injuries, both physical and emotional. Hinata's spirit remained unbroken, but her heart bore the weight of each wound inflicted upon her fragile form. In the midst of this suffocating environment, her time spent with Naruto, her unwavering friend, was reduced to a mere once a week. The respite he provided from her tumultuous existence became a fleeting oasis of solace. Still, Hinata clung to the belief that their bond would endure, knowing that Naruto valued her friendship as much as she treasured his. However, a recent discovery shattered what little remained of her fragile heart. The truth emerged, revealing that her mother's passing was not a result of childbirth complications, as she had been led to believe. The elders had disapproved of her mother's outsider status, viewing her as an unwanted addition to the clan. It was their insidious influence that convinced Hiashi to believe that Hinata's perceived weakness stemmed from her mother's presence. In their cunning manipulation, they poisoned her mother soon after giving birth to Hanabi. But as Hinata's fury grew, so did her awareness of her own limitations. Her anger was eclipsed by a deep sense of powerlessness. She yearned to take action, to right the wrongs that had been inflicted upon her, but she felt bound by her perceived weakness. Doubt clouded her mind, casting shadows over her self-belief. To her dismay, her father's decision to seal her with the caged bird seal on her 7th birthday only reinforced the notion of her captivity. The mark served as a constant reminder of her perceived inadequacy and the restraints placed upon her potential. Yet, deep within her, a flicker of determination persisted, refusing to be extinguished. In the midst of her despair, she found herself standing at the base of the mountain, gazing up at the stern faces of the Hokage statues. The weight of her troubles felt overwhelming. Naruto was consumed by worry. His thoughts revolved around his only friend, and the past 2 years they had spent together had taught him one thing for certain: her clan was filled with jerks. Lately, however, their meetings had become increasingly infrequent. Instead of the usual regular get-togethers, they could only manage to meet once a week. Each time they met, she seemed burdened, as if she had endured a great deal. Despite his curiosity, she never opened up about what troubled her, instead brushing it off as part of her training. Naruto couldn't help but wonder, who trains like that? He knew his own sisters trained under their parents, who were tough on him, but they never exhibited the same physical toll that he had noticed on his friend. Yet, for the time being, Naruto chose to disregard his suspicions. However, the situation took a turn for the worse when his friend stopped coming to meet him altogether. 2 long weeks had passed without a word from her, and his concern grew deeper. Attempting to check on her, Naruto approached her clan's compound, only to be stopped at the gates. They refused to let him in and offered no reassurances about her well-being. Fear began to gnaw at Naruto's heart. Was something terrible happening to her? Did she no longer want to be friends? A torrent of questions flooded his mind, each one intensifying his anxiety. He was aimlessly wandering through the village, an air of unease settling deep within him. An inexplicable sense of impending doom gnawed at his mind, leaving him restless and on edge. Observing the unfolding events with intense fury, Kaguya seethed with anger. The mere thought of anyone causing harm to her precious children ignited a fierce desire within her, one that urged her to take violent action. Yet, she understood the constraints that held her back. Hopelessly, she watched, unable to intervene directly. Among her beloved offspring, a tender 7-year-old was on the verge of succumbing to despair, contemplating the unimaginable act of ending her own life. The weight of the situation bore heavily upon Kaguya's heart. How could they have pushed her child to such depths of desolation at such a tender age? If it weren't for the confines of her prison, Kaguya felt an instinctive urge to eliminate those responsible for her children's suffering. But she knew the boundaries that restrained her. Powerless in her current state, she found herself confronted with a difficult decision, one she had not anticipated making. In a burst of determination, Kaguya resolved to utilize every remaining fragment of chakra within her to save her child. The reasons for her desperate need to protect her offspring eluded even her. Though the chakra within her children was tied to her own, she understood that they were distinct individuals. Still, an unyielding maternal instinct compelled her to shield them at any cost. Answer. With fierce resolve in her eyes, Kaguya embarked on an unexpected path. She would summon forth every ounce of her dwindling chakra, harnessing its formidable energy to rescue her child from the clutches of despair. In the face of daunting odds and her own limitations, Kaguya would give her all to ensure the safety and well-being of her precious offspring. If she used her remaining chakra, the consequences were uncertain to her. Perhaps she would be plunged into another timeless slumber, spanning hundreds of years. Alternatively, she might meet her end, but she no longer cared about her own fate. Her sole focus was on saving her child. With whatever chakra she had left, she forged a profound connection between herself and Naruto. He seemed to be the best option for her salvation, possessing a similar chakra to her own. Meanwhile, Naruto found himself consumed by sorrow over Hinata. He longed to see her again, but had no idea how to make it happen. Suddenly, an unusual sensation washed over him, a presence attempting to invade his mind. Although the Yamanaka clan was known for such abilities, Naruto doubted it was their doing. Before he could comprehend the situation, he lost consciousness. When he awakened, Naruto found himself surrounded by an endless expanse of darkness. Fear gripped his heart as confusion enveloped his thoughts. How had he ended up in this unfamiliar place? A sense of foreboding grew within him. But then, through the inky abyss, he caught sight of her. There before him stood a breathtaking woman with ethereal white skin and hair. Two delicate horns adorned her head, and her eyes captivated him. They resembled Hinata's, but her third eye remained closed, concealing its secrets. Naruto could find no words to describe her beauty. She was simply radiant. I finally get a chance to meet you, my child. I am so happy, she said with a warm smile. Naruto looked at her with curiosity. Who are you? Where are we? Do I know you? He asked, feeling a mix of confusion and excitement. It's nice to talk with you, but I'm afraid we don't have much time left. My other child, you know her as Hinata, your friend, is in danger. You have to go where those faces are carved in the mountains. She was about to do something terrible. I want you to go there as soon as possible, she explained with urgency. Naruto's worry grew immensely, realizing the gravity of the situation. He asked her how he could leave this place and make his way to Hokage Mountain. Without hesitation, she gently woke him up from his dream, and Naruto bolted towards his destination, fueled by determination. After what felt like an eternity, Naruto finally arrived at Hokage Mountain. His heart pounded as he saw Hinata standing on the edge, tears streaming down her face. He knew he had to act quickly. With a mix of horror and love, he rushed towards her, embracing her tightly from behind, preventing her from taking that fatal leap. Hinata, startled by the sudden contact, activated her Byakugan, and her gaze met Naruto's. A wave of relief washed over her as she recognized him. For a moment, she forgot about everything else and simply reveled in the comfort of his embrace. But soon, a wave of Hinata's heart swelled with hope as his words sank in. The darkness that had consumed her began to fade, replaced by a glimmer of light. She clung to Naruto, finding solace in his unwavering support. Author note: I rewrite this.
This is the end of the video. Please like and subscribe. Send then video to your friends who like Naruto. What if?